From your expression of disposition, I learned that the roots of your psych alterations branched off of one traumatic experience, where connection and guidance was replaced with evaluation and debilitation. You admit that you were sensitive and couldn't communicate your conditions. You processed everything that happened as injustice, and when this injustice is reinforced by influences, your conscience is altered. From your perspective, I can foresee that your disposition changes here, where it's no longer about examining conscience and the vulnerability of cultivating a relationship, but rather the hardened heart of self-preservation, where survivalism around environmental infrastructure as you lose trust in the system. Element number one that triggers these thinking patterns. Anytime environments, structures, and processes break your spirit. Community is made up of people with roles and responsibilities. If before role can be established, influences shut a person down, it paralyzes one's spirit. A captivity of mind and heart that does not move forward by a relationship with God, but rather by the interference of those who discern your life for you. Element number two, how influences treat you and the pattern into spiritual withdrawal. Anytime you have no voice, you have no place. Then you have no role except by which influences approve of. Now when you're locked in a cycle where your efforts end in displacement, you discern that this pattern can only mean two things. Either you have a handicap or the infrastructure needs to be addressed. I acknowledge your findings because if you're the one who is always wrong, then something is going on in you. For example, where it is nearly impossible to make good judgment when you can't remember scripture or discern very well. Unstable knowledge retention will alter thinking patterns. The same is true with an unaligned environment. A corrupted conscience can develop if structures or processes are dysfunctional, not structured around truth, justice, or love, but perception of right and wrong, which will be altered when reality frames you even after you discern the truth. In the course of your life, you may experience circumstances where justice will shift, where bias, status, and money become influencing factors that shape people's decisions instead of speaking the truth. This is what I mean by an unaligned environment. Addressing your current disposition, you can understand your anger. You must have felt exploited by conditions that were out of your control, to be not understood or guided through your dispositional standpoint. As you said, you put your authentic conscience to sleep and let environment dictate who you should be. When intentionality is gone and everything becomes merely circumstantial, I believe this is what it means to lose one's soul. Objectification of behavior. It is the right thing to correct what is immoral. However, extreme focus on isolating all choices, neglecting spiritual support, leads to decision-making paralysis. An induced belief where it's better to not do anything than to do the wrong thing. Now that I understand your disposition and how it formed, let's address the current stature of your conscience. As you shared, when justice perpetually swings one way, it can alter a person's ability to discern the difference between truth and synthetic truth. I invite you to share with me this synthetic truth that you're referring to. What is it and how is it impacting your spiritual journey?